What's your name and where you're from?
My name is Caden Bumgart, and I'm from Mount Horeb, Wisconsin.
That's nice. And Caden, man, let's just start with this, right? It's been awesome working with you so far this year, man. I'm excited to see if we can drop some more times the rest of this summer. But how was your performance or speed before joining the program?
I would say honestly, I was fairly average. I was an 11.2, 22.9, 23 flat guy. Coming in, I had a little bit of natural talent, but no real refinement. I wasn't really training like a sprinter. I was kind of just lucky. I kind of just had that natural talent and had to get it refined. I'd say I was a pretty average runner up until Sprint University.
Awesome, man. And I guess let me ask you this, right? What were some of the specific struggles maybe you were facing? Yeah, I mean, it's awesome that you had some natural talent, right? But what were some of the specific struggles you were facing, maybe in training or competition prep?
For sure. Well, one of my issues from the start was always my block starts were terrible. Could never quite get them figured out, and then my race planning was pretty bad up until I joined. Drive phase, acceleration phase, all that stuff. Couldn't really put it all together in one race.
Nice, nice. Let's kind of elaborate a little bit more on that. So what do you mean by, race plan, drive plays, acceleration? What are some of the specific struggles that you mean by that?
I really struggled keeping my rhythm and keeping my flow. I would
Mhm.
get to a block start was terrible. I'd get to 30 meters and then I'd be up, and then I'd get to 70 meters and I'd be straining and I'd be losing my form because I was trying to push so hard. And I never really had that all figured out up until
And I guess, man, how'd that make you feel?
I mean, it sucked because I was losing to people that I should have been beating, and I knew the entirety of last season that I was losing to people that I should have been beating. And it was just terrible. It was a bad mental spot to be in for sure.
And I'm sorry to hear that. And I guess, man, knowing that you were kind of unable to beat some of the people that you should have been beating, was there anything else that you were unable to achieve that you wish you could at the time?
Oh yeah, I mean, I missed out on qualifying for state in the 100 and the 200, just by a couple of spots in both. I think I was one spot away in the 200 and two spots away in the 100, and that was a little disappointing. That sucked for sure, but we flipped that around this year, so that was real nice
Yeah, we flipped it around big time. So let me ask you
for
this
sure.
then, right? Maybe what impact did that have? I know that you've had teammates with success, but I guess like what impact did that have missing out on state on maybe your confidence, your goals? I mean, relationship with teammates, coaches,
Mhm.
or family. Like what was that impact?
For sure. I mean, it definitely sucked, and it echoed through quite a bit of my we'd made it in a relay, but I really wanted to make it in an open event, and it definitely kept me pushing though. Like I felt like it definitely kept me motivated and had me wanting more because I felt like I'd fallen short and I wanted to prove somebody wrong.
Wow. So I guess that kind of leads to my next question, right? It sounded like you said you needed to change, but I guess how'd you even find out about us?
Well, I sent you a DM on Instagram asking for it was probably something about recruiting if I had to guess, and then we set up a phone call.
Awesome. And I guess, man, you went through that process, and I guess what were some of your thoughts about learning about the program? I imagine it was probably like a million
Well,
programs you could have done, right? So,
hmm. Yeah, I mean, it felt a little bit sketchy at first for sure because all these online things do. But I remember looking through your testimonials and some of the videos that you had on your Instagram of working with kids that I knew, kids that I'd watched run and ran alongside. And I knew that I'd seen proof of these guys having crazy PRs, just people that I knew in real life and had talked to at meets and stuff like that, that had seen growth. And that definitely changed things for me too, because then I was like, okay, well, this is the real deal.
and I'm so happy you brought that up, right? Because there's a lot of sketchy and scam stuff on social medias
Mhm.
nowadays. So I guess, man, let me stay there then. What were some of the doubts or fears, even before, just about the program in general?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of worried going into it. Maybe I wasn't going to get my money's worth, or maybe I was going to pay and not see any real growth, or it was just going to be a waste of money
Mhm.
or a waste of my time. But those were definitely some of the fears coming into it.
And nobody wants to waste money or time.
Yep.
So I guess, man, right? Knowing you had those fears, you didn't know if you're gonna get better. What made you decide to say yes anyways?
It was definitely those testimonials and the seeing the results that people that I knew in real life had been putting up. But honestly, it was a leap of faith. It was like you got to take a chance on something every once in a while, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this chance and it's going to work out. And, that's just what you got to do sometimes.
And I know that can be scary sometimes, but you
Mhm.
took the leap of faith. So where would you say your performances are now?
Oh, it's night and day. I mean, I went from an 11.2, 11.3 guy to running 10.7 and 10.8 very consistently. So that was great for sure.
Mm. Awesome. And I guess, man, how'd that make you feel?
Oh, it was great. I mean, it's great to see because I mean, we put in so much work in that off season in the summer and the months leading up to the season. It's great to see all that finally pan out, and it's great to see the results of what the work you can put into.
Wow, man. And I guess let me ask you this, right? From 11 to 10-7, 10-8 consistently. So what were you able to do now that you necessarily maybe couldn't do before?
Well, I definitely got my blocks figured out, so that's great. I'm beating guys that used to cook me out of blocks. Definitely, my drive phase is much better. I stay loose and I stay fluid throughout my races, and
Mm.
then like mentally too. I feel so much more confident. I walk up to the starting line. All right, it's go time. I know I can beat these dudes. I know I can run these times, and then I just go out there and show it.
Man. And that's beautiful because I remember a couple months back we were talking about how important it is walking to that line, knowing
Hmm.
that you're doing the right things.
Yep.
So I guess, man, let me ask you this, right? What unexpected or even positive impact has this had on your relationship, team dynamics, or even personal goals?
Oh, for sure. Just having this much of a change in something that I care about, my confidence all around has been boosted for sure. I feel more confident with friends, family, with my teammates, and all that growth is it's benefited me in ways that are so far outside of track. I just feel better, more confident, all that stuff all around.
Mm. Man, that's awesome to hear. And Kaden, we'll just leave this with maybe one more or two questions. What would you tell someone who might be watching this right now and they're kind of having the same thoughts you had? Is this a scam? Am I
Hmm.
actually going to get faster? Is it worth my time or my money? And they're just kind of on the fence about maybe taking the next steps in their speed training. What would you
Hmm.
tell that person?
I told him to take that leap of faith. I took it. It worked out, and I mean, I feel like you put the work in and you do what you need to do, and I mean, you're going to see the results that everybody's been seeing in the program.
Awesome, Kaden. Well, thank you, man, for taking this time out, bro. We still got
For
a little
sure.
more work to do this summer. We'll go try to hit 10-5 in the next couple of
Absolutely.
months.